problem. We gotta figure out why everybody didn't get their postcard. You got yours, and everybody's wasn't delivered. You got two? Everybody's was not even delivered the same day. Right, which I'm not that worried about, but, you know, Ms. Wynn got hers?
I don't think so. I'll text her real quick. You
got yours? So I got mine
The wrong
Tuesday.
Yellowbrook address.
I can provide some insight into that if you would like. It doesn't have to be right now.
Sure,
But,
no, do it.
so when you get like a big stack of the Everdoor direct mails, and then it's kind of at your discretion to take them out.
Okay.
And when I was taking them out, I tried to like go up to every house, but occasionally what some people will do is they won't deliver it. They'll only deliver it to the houses that get mail on that day. So if like you weren't expecting to get mail the day they deliver it, they'll just walk right on past.
So then technically they're not even guaranteed to be delivered to the house over there.
I don't know how that all
That's
works
new
behind the scenes, but
information.
that's my,
Well, does it get
Insider
delivered the
information.
next day that the person gets mail?
Probably not, they
they-
don't know who got mail. that
yeah,
day.
it usually just, like I would usually just take them out like one day and get the whole route done and then, you know, not worry about them. But Danny getting two probably means that there was a different carrier on the route and they didn't know that they had already hit that street and just saw the stack and started delivering.
Aye. So that is one thing that the app can do that this method cannot, is let us know who actually received the messaging.
Yeah.
So just, we have to keep those types of things in consideration when we decide how we want to like get our information out going forward. But all I have to say, we do have additional postcards. If you didn't get one, we can get you one, or if you want more, we can get you more. And so regarding the Village Business Summer Sessions, that schedule starts this month, June, July, August, which is why the dates here are weird. So what that means is the meetings for community engagement, executive, finance, and full council. So all four of our major meetings are all on the same day at 6, 6:30, 7, 7:30 p.m. And those will be June 9th, June 7th, and August 25th. So basically all your meetings now are on the same day. And unofficially, I have it in the notes, but Ashley Snyder, that's your treasurer, has unofficially resigned, I guess. So we need to send out an email for that. Now, if I get anybody applying, Monday the 9th, so a week from today, if somebody applies, we can, I can nominate them during the next council meeting and council can approve it so that your next meeting in July, you'll have your 9th person. So action items is to get people to apply, who wants to be on rec, but also the rec page. We talked about things that's on there, but it's just, I mean, there's like a generic page, but as far as like all the list of events and like the introduction to you guys or some of the things that you want your page to do, basically make sure all that gets updated. And finally, Juneteenth is a week from Friday, 4th of July, as usual, is June 29th, and Labor Day, as usual, September 1. So I've been putting these on there. So there is your end of your council report.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I've only received, I think, one response for the meet the commissioners. Yeah,
You
I've
guys
only
each need to
received,
put a little blurb about yourself so you can go online.
Oh,
yeah, I can resend that out.
So
I
a
never
good place
saw that.
to look for an example of that
Sorry,
would be
I
on
didn't
the
see that.
police page.
Okay,
Under personnel,
okay.
there are 2 or 3 that have been written that are out there. They don't need to be that detailed,
No.
but like if you have 3 bullet points, you know,
Like how long you lived in the village.
this is what I've done, this is what
Yeah.
I'd like to do, this,
Yeah.
these are fun things I like to do or something like that.
Right, yeah.
Before we move on to, can I mention the email blasts? That's-
Yeah, sure,
So
absolutely.
there have been 2 email blasts that have gone out in the last
Okay.
couple of weeks. That is a tool that's available for recreation to use and for community engagement. It's fairly simple to use because I just repurposed stuff from the website. And then did any of you get the email blast?
I got one.
So I would go
forgot about
back
the
in
others.
and resubmit your email to
Okay.
the system. It looked like it started out with 630 emails and it's down to 577, so a bunch of people unsubscribed. And that's when I looked at who they were, they looked like people that had moved and just changed their mind.
Okay.
So, but that's a good tool. Pat has volunteered to do that, and I'm in the midst of training her on that, so.
You'll have to send us, I guess, each link or access. Send us the link or access, whatever we need to.
Well, that's the app that you have, and.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
We're also, so the email blast is a utility on the website, that if you go to the website, you can look at the archive of all the email blasts that have gone, but they're called the Villager Update.
Okay.
Do you have the website up there?
I can get it up now. All right, yeah.
And go to the news tab.
News.
By the way, this meeting is now online. So go
Oh,
to
we're live
news.
now?
Yeah, get the
I got news. Yeah.
get the drop down, and then Villager Update email archive. And that will populate a list in just a second. There you go. And then click on the very top one. That's the one that went out on the 30th.
Okay. Nice.
So if you click on those individually, they take you to the pages on the website.
Okay.
And there was no page for that. Try that one. There you go.
Is there a place on the website to get updated, to be included into the villager?
Yeah, right
at the
It's on
top.
It's on the
Okay.
home. It's a,
Right at the
if you
top.
go to the homepage.
No.
Subscribe to. That was the only thing that was up there until the
Well,
list
and then
came.
the utility at the top where it says your full name and your email.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
I
Nice.
just subscribe myself.
Cool. All right.
Yeah, I'll,
But the question is, but how do P and I send out the blast? Or only Miss Pat, just Miss Pat?
So it would be Pat, because we have to be careful having too many people do that on
That's fine.
this.
for sure.
So we're kind of doing this as an experiment with Pat.
Okay.
But if you have stuff now that you want to do,
Mhm.
my goal would be to send out a blast every other week, because we don't want to bombard people all the time.
Yeah.
You would just need to have everything that you would want on that blast to me by noon on Thursday.
Okay.
And is it, if you put a search on it, is it from the Villager or from Gulf Manor? If I put a search on it.
It's from Gulf Manor.
It's from
It's
Gulf
it's
Manor.
called the Villager Update though,
Okay,
because it's an offshoot of the newsletter. But that's set up and that's out there and it's free and it's paid for, so.
Right. Yeah, free and paid for is great.
Kind of free.
Yeah.
Included.
All right, so we can move on into old business here. First thing I have on here is the yard of the month. So unfortunately, my month got very busy after our last meeting between now and then, so I've not had the opportunity to get the signs from, do you know if the signs?
It got passed to me, but they haven't been made yet,
They haven't-
so.
Okay,
So we need to talk about that.
yep, no worries. So we can just, I think our decision was that we have the house that we are gonna give the first one to once we get, all the ducks in a row on that.
Do you know who it is? Who the address?
It's on Hamel. Yeah, it's the big ranch house,
What
one
ranch?
corner of Hamel and Ardmore.
Shirley, I can't remember, I think it's Shirley somebody.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Cool, I also have the Pride event on this. I don't know if we wanted to talk a little bit. We mentioned like a Pride potluck last time.
Yeah, so we mentioned the Pride potluck. And so, because what is advertised is this Pride walk on June 28th. That's because we were gonna walk in the parade. Well, we didn't get a position in the parade. So it's like, all right, well, let's just do this Pride potluck. So the question is, you guys want to keep it on the 28th, where people might actually be at the parade, and that's also the day before 4th of July, so it'll be a busy weekend.
Yeah,
Or change the date to basically the week of basically the 21st would be Saturday. And then it just doesn't, it's not the correct date on the postcard. It's not what the date we've been advertising. And that's less time, so. But it doesn't have to be big. I can literally just set up a Facebook group and a handful of people just show up with
Yeah.
potluck, like it's.
yeah, I do think that like doing it the week before is probably the move. Because I mean,
21st.
I mean, I think a lot of folks are,
People are gonna go to the parade for
Probably.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah.
That's the
They might.
only thing I would say, but it kind of sucks that it's not on the postcard. Because if there are people that are like, oh, this is cool, Golf
Yeah.
Manor's actually doing a little, like, a pride celebration.
So
Then they're gonna be looking at that postcard for sure, like, oh, I just got this, this can't be
Well, I mean,
different.
all we gotta do is just call it the Pride Walk and just say, we'll meet up at this particular place and time. And it's not even like you have to participate in the parade, you just call it,
Yeah.
it's not what we expected.
Walking
because-
with pride.
Yeah,
I mean,
walking at the parade, I mean, it's just like, there's no reason why the
Yeah.
residents just can't gather
No,
um,
yeah, I think
at,
it should,
at the parade,
Yeah.
so.
I mean, that could be cool too.
oh,
Yeah,
is
and
that
that's
what?
easier. I don't have to, then I don't have to
That's
update
smart.
the information, like I don't
Show
have
up
to throw
downtown.
anything.
what
Yeah,
does the
'cause
card
initially the-
specifically say?
It literally just says Pride Walk, no description, and the date for June 28th.
Okay, because
That might be
initially
fun.
Golf Manor was gonna walk in the pride parade.
Correct.
So we could also just like go down to the pride
Yeah.
parade and meet there and congregate there for
Cheer
Golf
everybody
Manor
else.
That's
and
it.
watch the parade.
Yes.
And watch the parade.
Hello,
And
I
then
was,
I don't have to plan
who
anything.
wants to walk in the parade anyways? Like,
Really?
And you
That
walk a
sounds-
lot in the parade, like next to
Yeah,
the parade, or
yeah,
walk
and then
down
you
to the
can walk
vendors,
up to
and
the
then back
parade
the
to
Pride
watch
Walk.
it.
So we
Like,
should just, so basically just update the website, so now we don't look like we're relying on the postcard.
yeah.
Okay.
So we need to get an event page on the website for that, and then that would be a good thing to use for the blast and for the
Okay.
Yeah,
app
that.
push.
So I don't know enough about, like, they've come up to suggest a meeting place.
For
I can-
downtown,
I
I
can
don't
look
know
at
where
the-
the start of the,
Right.
like, where pride
Yeah,
starts.
I can
is.
look at the,
Just
look
pick
at
a,
the
just pick an
map.
intersection along the.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
along
If it's
the
I
route.
think
same route.
One
it's-
thing I would say is if it starts like toward Finley Market, I would suggest like Liberty or like the across the street that's closer to Finley Market than closer to
It's nowhere
downtown.
close.
No,
to
it's,
Finley
it's
Market.
not, it's like is that Sixth Street or?
Seventh
it's
Street,
I think
Seventh
Oh,
Street?
it
It's a
starts,
viaduct
it
there.
starts.
And then it goes down to Silver Point.
and then it goes down past
Oh,
the square.
got it.
So meeting at the square would be a good spot,
Okay,
because the parade, the main part of the parade goes right past there.
okay.
That sounds like a lot.
And that's a good landmark. I mean, I know there's gonna be a ton of people there, but
Yeah,
that's
it is.
that's a good landmark for folks
So
to
another
come
good
meet up.
place is the outside deck at Moreline House,
Oh, no.
because that's where we go to watch when we just go watch.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
That sounds like so much. And you can't bring food there either.
Well, you can't in the restaurant, but there's public areas
Oh,
around there.
whatever's clever.
Yeah, so I like that, I did like, that's easier than the potluck and setting up, just put those details, just because the Pride Walk was never defined on the postcard.
Oh,
So we just
wasn't it?
create an event page, say, we're at the parade, meet up at this place and time. And
Okay.
then after the parade, we'll walk to Sawyer Point and see the vendors. There's your walk, like, I mean,
So, the parade route begins at 7th Street and Plum, travels down Vine Street past Fountain Square and ends at our festival location of Sawyer Point in Eaton Cove.
Okay.
you know, I'll let somebody else figure out the,
The meeting
get
point?
a meeting.
Yeah.
You said Fountain Square, right?
That's fine.
That
I
sounds
think-
very crowded.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's packed down there.
so I think every
It's
spot is
packed
gonna be
everywhere.
crowded,
Yeah.
but like, that's enough of a, like, it's not
Yeah.
meeting on this corner and it's more area
Yeah.
to, it's gonna be crowded everywhere, but I think Fountain Square is a good.
I say the last 3 years I've been there, it's down by the banks, like the stretch leading from Vine down to the banks area. There's kind of open there a little bit, but there's no shade or anything.
That's true too.
Yeah.
And there's more facilities and stuff in Brown Square.
Utmost,
Yeah. This is by the time you get down to where the banks are.
So this is the slider from
Either
what
go to the
Virginia,
banks,
it's on the
then it's
website.
packed in there, it's not
So we
much
can build a
landscape.
page off of that. Of course.
And I have the artwork that Jacqueline Threadgill designed for the shirts that Charlotte sold last year.
Can you send it to
I
me?
can send that to you, you can use that too if you want.
Cool. Do we want to try to do like pre-sale shirts and then like have them like we're kind of doing for the Juneteenth stuff?
Yeah, I want to. I could put
I mean,
it
we've got the logo. I'm not sure how well they sold last year, but
How much are the shirts?
I mean.
Well, I didn't mention it to
18
him
to
when
20.
when I asked about like turnover rate. I didn't say anything about like getting them in time for Pride. But I
Yeah.
think it should be doable if they can do shirts for us before the 14th, right? So
Yeah,
I don't see.
Or what we do, so the way I have it set up now, I've already advertised it now. So the way I have it set up now is basically we'll do 2 orders. So it'll be between now and like tomorrow essentially or Wednesday.
Mhm.
And then the other one will be the day after, the Juneteenth celebration. But instead of doing that second order for Juneteenth, we could just do it for Pride. And so there's no more shirts on him. But I already advertised 2. So that's something we can talk about.
yeah, I
But
don't
you'll
think
have
that
an
would
extra
be,
week too, though.
yeah, because
No.
it's not till the end of the month.
Yeah.
So it's like
Yeah, you'll have extra time. He should be able to turn that over. We can get 12, a minimum of 12 shirts and gives him a week to do it or something, or even more than that if we start now.
We just needs a minimum of 12.
So
Okay.
did you get your minimum for the early?
Not yet,
Not yet.
But
I
everybody
brought
on
mine
rec
this
hasn't purchased it either. Yeah, so you got 2.
I got it. It's
You didn't get
working out.
yours yet, she got hers. So I think we got maybe,
But we are
Or-
getting ours, so that's fine.
yeah, but you need to actually like order them between now and tomorrow or.
Yeah, we'll do it
Yeah,
today.
yeah.
I do have
We have
a,
7. We have 7 out of the 12.
I'm not sure what size or how many I have, but I do have the Pride shirts that weren't sold last year.
Oh,
So, yeah, Charlie gave me those a while back, and some, I think we have some stickers too.
okay.
Is there a lot of shirts? Do you?
It was all in a Kroger bag, so not
Oh,
very many.
okay.
So we can sell those
A
at
few.
Juneteenth too then.
Yeah, that might be, get those off our hand and then,
That will
Um,
help toward payment for other shirts too.
yeah.
How much are those shirts?
Probably the same price.
Yeah, I mean, what, the 22 for June?
Yeah, probably already paid for it.
22? I mean, how much are, I mean, you're selling them, how much are they for?
22 then.
So they're all 22.
Yeah, all the adults shirts will be, all the adult sizes will be
You know what sizes you have, Alan?
No, I do not. I will find out later this evening. I actually might be able to find out sooner than that. If you give me a second, I can text someone.
22. And I like the color of the shirt itself, like if y'all want to keep that same. green
Pride, you mean? Or
For
the,
the pride, yeah.
okay.
Is it the same design as last year?
Yeah, it'll be the same.
So Alan, can I just give you 22 and I can buy a shirt? Give a medium or a small, each shirt?
I will find out here in just a second.
But the shirts that we're trying to meet the 12 for are for Juneteenth, not for Pride.
Yeah, these are 2 separate things.
Okay, I'm confused. You have the shirts for Pride or you have the shirts for Juneteenth?
He
What
has shirts for
physically is
Pride. And we're trying to we need a minimum of 12 for Juneteenth. And so far we have 7, not including me, which I'll order mine tonight. And so if you wanted shirts for Juneteenth, you
It's
still
not
have to
over an hour
order.
enough.
You have to order it.
Did you place an order? I didn't see your name on there.
No, I didn't. I
You
just-
didn't place an order then. So you will be added to, so we'll have, she'll be 8 and you can be 9 out of the 12. Those are pre-orders. But what he has physically are from pre-orders and then extra from last year's Pride.
So cool. Okay, I am not good at computers or putting this on my phone. So how am I paying for the shirt?
We have a Square account. I have a link that I can just text you. Your sister's already bought them. She can help you.
It's
She
very,
shared
it's
brushes.
very
She already bought
user friendly,
Yeah, it's
very
very-
easy.
it's very
She bought-
simple.
She bought shirts.
I doubt she bought a shirt,
Okay, I'll just walk past there and ask her to buy me a shirt. I'm just kidding.
but I, or
Is
I
that
can text it
9
to you. Huh?
Is it 9 people?
You will be, not, yes, you'll be 8, you'll be
Or
9.
you'll be 8 and I'll be 9. if
Or
you
you'll
get
be
your
8, she'll be
shirts.
9.
Depends on who's gonna,
It's a
let's
race.
see.
It'll be a race.
A race
I'm
to the
number 1.
Juneteenth
I know
shirt.
I'm 1.
So you need 3 more people?
Yes.
Okay, we may be buying 2, it just depends on what Sandor wants to do.
Now, and if we don't make that 12, we're gonna have to buy 12 anyway, and that'll just be an extra shirt in hand to sell at the event.
Yeah.
We could also buy youth, right?
Yes, you can.
So.
And I
we'll
dropped
probably
the
do
price.
youth.
So Rochelle quoted the same price
Yeah,
though.
for the
you,
youth
but I
shirts,
did
yeah.
make it $18 or something.
Yes.
Um,
It just doesn't feel right,
Yeah.
right? So,
yeah.
okay, cool.
Cool, so, back to Pride. We'll do like a Facebook event, we'll get something on the Villager and up on the website saying that we're gonna meet at, Gulf Manorites are gonna meet down at Fountain Square, parade kicks off at what, noon?
Probably
Uh,
earlier than that, then.
Oh, it starts at 11 a.m. So maybe we say we are kind of starting to meet down there at like 10:30. And then just to watch the parade together and wear your Gulf Manor Pride shirts if you got them.
Purchase prize shirts here.
Yeah, if we think we can get 12. Because I know a lot of folks bought them last year. So I don't know how many would, buy them again.
That's fair.
So
Then maybe
you-
change the color then.
That'd be a good idea.
You can get me an article, I can get it posted Wednesday, and then if you want to link to purchasing the t-shirts, that can go on that page also.
And I'll take care of it on the Square page,
Appreciate that.
where you actually buy it.
Yeah, I bungled my sign up for that. I haven't-
So, but I can post that link to Square
Right,
on the website.
And so to be clear, y'all want to pre-sale Pride shirts on Square.
That's fine
Okay, now you're gonna have to vote on that
as well.
too, yeah. Because what happens is, we collect that money and it's sitting there, but I can't spend it until y'all say it's okay to spend. So we can't take people's money without basically
Voting on
dispersing
it
it.
tonight.
Right,
Gotcha.
Should we vote on it now?
you can.
Yeah, do
let's do
we know how much, like, I'm assuming it would be a similar cost for
Yeah, I'm sure the shirts.
the Juneteenth.
Yeah.
How much was that?
That's a good question. So say we, say $12 times, 12 shirts times, is it $13 a shirt?
Yeah, I think it came out to me like 170 something, if I remember, but I could be wrong, so. Yeah. I don't remember. Go ahead and do the math. I don't know.
Yeah, I put 12,
Yeah. I think it
12
was
times 13 is
1350 or
156.
something. Yeah.
So you could, the safer bet is just to say, do you have to call an exact number? Can you just say we approve it in the amount equal to the pre-sales?
You can approve up to a maximum amount,
Okay,
and I would do whatever your maximum is plus 10% just to cover.
Okay.
That's why I was like,
Any
I think we said
overcharge?
170.
okay. So 170 makes, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 170, okay. Now, hopefully, more than 12 people don't
Yeah.
buy. So,
And if for some reason you sell more and run over, that's also part of that process. So you can go over if you need to, you're not absolutely tied to that.
oh, that's good to know, okay.
That's, you said a minimum, right? Of
I'm
one-
sorry,
Oh, it's a minimum of 170, right?
correct. Well, the way you should word it, you can word it no more than the amount plus 10%, or you can just give that number. Generally, what the requisition order does is allows a ballpark number to be planned in the budget. And then once we get the invoices is when it all falls out and becomes official.
I mean, so 15 shirts times $13 is $195. You want to just say up to $200
Yeah,
or
I'm
something
fair
like
with
that? Okay.
Is it ROSHO?
Yeah.
Capital R, capital S.
All right, so I'll make the motion to spend up to $200 on Pride shirt pre-sales for our Pride event at the end of June. Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, I will send this around. Everyone will need to sign it. We'll be doing this a few times today.
Yeah, I'm here to beg for money. I was like, I gotta get y'all in here today.
All right, anything else on Pride? I think we're pretty square.
Just sign up.
Yeah, just anywhere down there. Sounds like we're pretty squared away with that. Cool. All right, we can move on to the big order of business. I put it last for a reason, Juneteenth.
Cool. All right, so I did send you guys a pretty significant update, like 10 days ago, Thursday of the previous week, to encourage you to come today. And we've had some updates since then, so I'll try to read both updates at the same time, especially for the record. So as of Thursday, the 22nd, which would have been right around the same time the postcards went out, at that time, we had 11 registered vendors and had collected payment from 10 of them. Since those postcards went up, we are now at 19 registered vendors and collected payments from 18 of them. So within that last week, we basically doubled. I don't know if I would have predicted that trend yet, but I did know that people start registering last minute, and we still got another 2 weeks to go. Historically, we've had about 30 vendors, but I'm not that eager for vendors because I think we're doing okay for money. Historically, the vendors are the ones who have financially supported the event, so I needed vendors. Well, this year, I'm just like, we'll take vendors. So we registered 19 vendors, got payments from 18 of them. I did send that email to one, like, hey, are you still interested? So you need to pay. We have since sold 7 shirts, adult size shirts, and then of course that one $10 donation. So as of now, we have collected from Square $639 minus like $22 or something, some change in fees. So $613.12. And I haven't talked to Eric, but if my numbers are right, that means that in the rec budget, you should have about $2,566. That includes this 613 from Square. So 2,566 about. So y'all got money. And as of now, everything is kind of prepaid. Like you have to pull from that account, but it's not like money that you didn't have previously. So I've created the Amazon wish list for the field day items. The prices of the items range between $8.30 and $49.99. Now, the total cost of all the items on the wish list was about $400. But $200 of that was for 4 packages of these reusable water balloons. Kind of seems expensive, but again, you reuse them and they don't bust, so they don't have like that rubber mess. So it's better like to clean up. So it's better for the environment.
Don't ruin all the work we did for the cleanup day.
Yeah. Oh, right. So if without those, John, your list goes from $400 to $200. So it's not like that expensive, not too bad. So since then, we have gotten our approval from Solicitor Butler to make sure that we can share that Amazon wish list publicly. And as of now, I know of at least 2 residents. I know we got one thing in the mail. I'm waiting on the others. So we've got a couple of residents who've
There's
already
actually something
donated.
in the clerk's office.
Okay,
as we
good.
speak.
Good, because I'm expecting 3 things and I've only heard about 1. But so one person bought 2 things and one person bought another. So we have to do check on those. So if you remember at your May 14th meeting, you guys approved $300 worth spending and this total list is $400. So if people continue to donate, you don't even have to spend that as much as that $300.
Now, we might want to, I don't know how this worked. I did not get everyone to sign the purchase order for that because I didn't have them with us.
Okay, so just redo it.
Yeah.
Now we do have in the meeting, you do have in your minutes that you approved, so, all right. So as of Thursday, the 22nd, I had 2 vendors, who were interested, like 2 food vendors, because I was struggling for food, found food vendors. I have talked to them since. Now, one of them is Tiny Bistro, who has supported a bunch of our events in the past. They graciously waived that $150. They kind of changed their business model. Normally we charge our vendors. Well, she wanted to charge us. But after turning on the charm, she's like, you know what? We'll call it even. You don't charge me, I won't charge you. But again, like they were just as recently at the soapbox derby. So this is a business that has supported us for a few years now. Now, depending on how much you guys earn, I will consider trying to meet that, whatever they waive for us, that fee, because I know they're looking for a food truck. So it just might be, to show our appreciation and also, strengthen that partnership that we've had. Now, the other food people, they cannot commit at this time, but the good news is it's a person on our street. So it's a very local resident who's opening a taco truck. So we're going to get a taco truck here. Like I've seen the physical truck. It exists
On St. Albans?
on St. Albans.
Fantastic.
Do you know Marty's husband? So Marty is on
Human Rights
the
Commission.
Human Rights Commission. So her husband has started a food truck or will be starting a food truck. It's been a while, like he's basically trying to get Hamilton County to approve his food permit. But I mean, he might be ready to up and go as soon as like 4th of July or something like that. He can't commit quite yet. He might be ready, but he doesn't want to say if he is or not. So, we do have at least the hot dog people, gourmet hot dog. Let me not say that. It's good. It's like Mets and all of that.
Were they
Is
at
that the
Juneteenth
bistro?
last year?
Yeah, Tiny Bistro. Yeah, they would have been at Juneteenth last year. They were at maybe even Juneteenth the year before. They were at
at the
They were
Golf
at
Manor
the
Day.
concert.
they were at the concert. Yeah, they're always. You said what?
Golf Manor Day?
That would have been probably
The
that,
concert?
well, yeah, the
Yeah,
concert,
okay.
same thing, so they've been around. So that is Tiny Bistro in Fairfield, Ohio. Let's see, so in the Thursday, May 22nd update. So, basically when we requested funding to print and deliver the postcards to promote the village business and recreation programming, the finance committee approved $2,000 to spend on events from the ARPA fund. Okay, so just over 1,100 of that 2,000 was spent on the postcards. So given that we have 3 upcoming events, namely Juneteenth, 4th of July, and Labor Day, I recommend that we allocate about $300 for each event. So we might want to you don't have to do that, but Captain Reed, who is organizing Labor Day, and Danny, who was organizing the 4th of July, at least say we got at least $300 for you.
Gotcha.
And if they want more, they have to come for approval or whatever from rec. So it's my opinion that the finance committee was eager to approve that $2,000, but it's also my opinion that you should be mindful if you ever want to request more funding from them. But on another note, because this money is already approved from the ARPA fund, rec does not need to vote on spending this money. It's basically already been approved. I can go to them right now and technically I can spend all 900 if I want to, but I'm just thinking up to 300. But it's good practice and courteous to just go ahead and have a discussion on how you guys want to spend that money. Now, by contrast, your commission, you have your own separate rec fund. And as of now, I think you guys, I told you about 2566, something like that. So you got about $2,500 in there, and that should include the 600 plus that we gotten from the square sales. Now that is the money that you guys do need approval from. So we're talking ARPA, which already essentially been approved, and then y'all's rec money. And so, when you and I, so another bullet point, we tasted beer. That would have been Thursday, May 5th. We decided on a lager and a sour. We intend to purchase 2 6-tills of the lager and 1 6-till of the sour. The 6-till, like a 6-till in general, can pour about 42 to 46 servings, depending on the size of the servings. So 2 of the 6-tills will be tapped at a time. And so only after the first 6-till of the lager is empty will we tap the second one. So that means if that one doesn't ever get tapped, that's money you can return that you don't have to spend. Okay, so there's always 2 choices to drink, but you might not even have to pay for all 3. So each 6-till costs $90, which is about $1.80 per serving, depending on the size of the serving, but we sell them for either $5 or $6. So that's a way for you guys to make money. So what I need now is for you guys to approve $270 to spend on beer from your rec fund, 4 non-giant, so that'll get you to 3 6-tills. Now keep in mind, this money's already pre-funded at this point. Like I sold enough, we got enough vendors registered to where this 270 is already taken care of and then some. And another note too, apparently sours are kind of like debatable if people like them, if people want to sell. Like, I don't know, some people love them, some people hate them apparently.
That very emergency is going to be a crowd pleaser.
You say what?
The very emergency, it's on tap, by the way.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna go probably this week, one more time to confirm that those flavors, because they wasn't available to taste then. So I'm going another tasting if you guys want to come and confirm that, okay, it's a sour that will be sellable. And then I'll go ahead and confirm those and we'll buy it. So what I need now is somebody to make a motion for 270.
How do you spell 6-tills? SIX?
TEL, yep, TEL. So that's basically a 1/6 of a keg. Yeah, and I think I already have a volunteer or 2 who's willing to do that. They're gonna come tap it for us and,
You said those are 90 a pop?
so 90 times 3 is your 270.
All right, motion to, I don't know what the word is here, appropriate?
To approve, approve spending,
Approve spending for $270 to 9 Giant for beer for Juneteenth. 3 6-tills of beer for Juneteenth. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Lovely.
Thank you. And we've already kind of talked about part of this. So Julietta and I met, last week to discuss the t-shirts and the pizza. That's why I was eager, because the t-shirts, if we want to pre-sell them, we need to get that first order in like tomorrow or Wednesday or something like that. So that's why I reached out to a lot of you individually for that. So let's see some details here. The price to print a shirt is about $13, $14 or $15 depending on, or $15, $16 depending on the size. We agreed that $22 an adult shirt, regardless of size, is how much we'll sell them. And so if we submit an order before June 5th, we can have those shirts by Thursday, June 12th, which is the day before the event. We need a minimum of 12. And if we submit a second order on June 14th, which is the day after the celebration, then we can have those shirts the day before the Juneteenth holiday. And again, we'll need a minimum of 12. So the way I have it advertised now is two separate, like if you order now, you get it on this date. If you wait until here, you get it on this date. And so any of that money would be deposited directly into the rec fund. And this is why we already talked about this. Like I can't spend that money until you guys got approval. But that money, since it's pre-sales, it's not like it really, you don't lose that.
Yeah.
Like, so people are paying for it. So what I need now is another motion. You could probably just say $200 again.
Yeah, I think we could use the same model.
Yeah. And so that is actually should probably say four, if we're gonna do it twice, so $200. So maybe up to $400 on Juneteenth shirts, right, for two separate orders.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But again, they'll be pre-funded. Does that make sense?
Yes.
$200 orders, okay.
Motion to approve spending for Juneteenth t-shirts to Rocho, both pre-sale and after Juneteenth sale, and what did we say, $400?
Yeah, I would say.
$400.
Second.
All in favor?
All right.
Thank you. And the last thing I'll be begging for money for, this is probably particularly important because we only got one food vendor at this point. And I know we were brainstorming the last events about pre-selling food, or excuse me, about selling food. And so the idea is to sell pizza, like just slices of pizza that we get from a pizzeria here. And so I reached out to Goodfellas, because they have those really huge slices. And I did ask them for a discount, but I didn't name it or anything like that. So they're reaching out to marketing and all of that. Because I do know they want to try to partner and do some engagement, like with the communities and stuff like that. So I'm still waiting to hear back from them. But even without the discount, so a 22-inch pie has 8 slices. It'll be $25 a slice, or about $25. Yeah, or $3 a slice. But if we sell it for like $6, you double even without the discount. So I think you and I agreed that what I have down is $7 for a slice, or a combo with chips and pop for $8. And so if you're interested in selling pizza as a fundraiser, you'll need 2 or 3 volunteers. I think I got 1 or 2 who would be willing, and we'll sell it at the concession stand with the pizza. And so we'll have to collect payments there and serve it there. But you must approve, what I have is $250, so that'll be 5 cheese and 5 pepperoni at $25 a pizza. And as of when I sent this initial update out on that Thursday, May 22nd, you didn't have, that wouldn't have been pre-funded, but we got enough vendors where it was just mostly funded at this point. So this would be the only thing that taps into what Juneteenth, like what we haven't been selling so far. But I mean, that was still $2,000, so
Yeah.
You should have it. But then also, mind you, you'll get that money back. Like if a slice is about $3 and you sell it for 6 or 7.
Yeah, we're gonna.
Yeah.
And that's again without the discount, so. So I guess motion to approve up to $250 on pizza from Goodfellas.
Motion to spend up to $250 on pizza from Goodfellas.
Second.
All in favor?
All right, and so that's pretty much the bulk of it. I will say, crunching some numbers, considering everything's mostly like prepaid and all that, y'all might be able to pull in $800 to $1,000 off this event.
That would be something.
That would be very nice. And I don't have to show them now, but I've been kind of sort of updating. I think it's a pretty realistic, budget that I created. And what I'll do too, oh, I think I shared it. I didn't talk about, why didn't I include this in the update?
You said you didn't make,
You might,
I said approximately.
before, between 800 and 1,000. So as of last week, I would have told you 850, but because we selling more, got more vendors, it might be higher than that. And also I did a budget, I just went on Kroger's website and things like cups, plates, napkins, gloves, hand sanitizer, water, pop, chips, all that fell right around $300. So I can go out and buy all of that with the ARPA funds, so you don't even need to approve any of that. What I might need is ice. That's $75.
Yeah.
So, motion to spend $75 on ice. Can you make that motion?
I can.
Okay.
Motion to spend $75 on ice.
I'll
I
second
know
it.
the last thing was the best thing.
Yeah, you're right, you're right.
Yes.
I mean, I can just exceed the $300. Like, it'll get paid for, and we get about it, it's ice, so.
Aye.
All in favor? What's the vendor for ice or?
Ice, Home City Ice.
Home City?
And so that's the last thing I need to do. So yeah, but all of the, but like, and you guys are more than welcome to volunteer for either the beer, like I think I kind of got a beer person from Not a Giant, but beer and pizza and the chips or shirts and all of that stuff.
Like to pick up?
No, not to pick it up, to actually sell it at the event.
Okay.
What I need to figure out how to do, I think the best way to do it is probably print a sheet of QR codes. So we don't have to deal with cash or Wi-Fi, and just say the menu, like if you want a slice of pizza, scan this one. If you want a combo of pizza with the pop and whatever,
Yeah.
scan this one, and then whatever that order is, just go up to the concession stand and hand it to people, but somebody might can help with that.
Yeah.
Is what I imagine how that goes, but I need to create it on Square and then test it out,
There might be a way, I'm not sure if you,
because we don't have a terminal.
yeah, we don't have a terminal, but there might be a way to just have like one QR code that like opens up like a menu of like,
Okay.
oh, here's beer, here's.
Okay,
I'm not, because when, like the link that you sent me for the shirts, like that takes you to like vendor registration
Uh-huh.
and shirts and
And
like
the
donation,
donation, that's
so
it.
it might be that same page.
Yeah,
or something
I can
like
do that. I just don't want it to get too convoluted for people who.
That is very fair. That is very fair.
So, but yeah, I mean, we can get together and try to figure all that out, because when I was setting up those shirts and all that, it actually took me longer than it should have, I
Yeah.
think. Square is a little confusing, with all the different menu options and what you see as a business owner and what you see as a customer is two different
Yeah.
interfaces.
Oh, I've played
and-
that game where you're just
Yeah.
jumping back and forth
Yep.
inside the
Yep.
veil there.
So, yeah, if somebody wants to take some time and we can do all of that, so, I think that is really it. Do y'all wanna sell raffle items? That's up to y'all, I don't care.
Yeah,
And somebody else is gonna have to take the lead on that too.
yeah. I mean, any thoughts on that? Anyone wanna take that on?
It would be fun, but maybe for the next endeavor.
Yeah.
That's-
Yeah,
yeah,
I feel
that's
like it's just like a lot of extra work, and I think things are going so well right now.
Yeah, and they haven't been huge money makers.
Yeah.
The
So,
biggest one was that Switch, and we might have made like $20 off of it.
oh, wow.
Switch 2 comes out tomorrow or
Did you get your
Wednesday.
hands on one
Not
between
a
now and
chance.
right?
Not a chance.
But I
They're like
do think like a
$600.
karaoke machine would be a cool,
We talked about that.
a cool
Or a
raffle
dash
item.
cam.
Oh, raffle item, not just a karaoke.
I
in the
think
park.
karaoke at the park would be
I'm
great
down.
too, but
I mean, Danny has an ice system.
yeah, I
Why not?
mean, it would be cool to do a karaoke night in the.
We should just do that,
community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You wanna hear me sing a bunch of Shania Twain real bad?
It's real bad.
That don't impress me much, that is her. That's why I'm talking about
All right.
that, y'all should talk about that.
I
some
think
of the
that would be a
next
Yeah.
fun
meetings.
event
Yeah,
to
I think
have.
Especially an indoor event when it gets colder.
Yeah, like
People love
popcorn and
karaoke.
karaoke and
Love
food and
karaoke.
stuff.
Well, thank you for listening to the update, and I got it all, in writing and stuff. I can send them out, but I think that's it. I'm happy with where we're going. Let's hope for good weather.
Yeah. Looking at the moment.
Sure.
Lovely. Any more discussion or anything that we need to The event starts at 4, right? I'll be there likely until 5:30 or so. But I'll be available all day to help.
And you sure you can get all that ice in your car? You gonna need help lifting all these bags and all of that?
How many bags is it gonna be?
20-pound bags. So
Oh,
that's 400 pounds of ice.
Will they help her lift them there?
I mean, I've never, somebody else did it last year, so I'm sure they'll help you load the car, and we'll have plenty of people to help you unload it. But if they're not, have you got ice from Home City? Did they help you load it in the car?
What's that?
Not one trip.
Because
You
when
don't
we
think
went
so?
to get it, we went up to, I think it's in Springfield.
Springfield, yeah, Springfield, that's right.
Yeah. How many bags are you getting?
20, at least
I can
20.
always pick them up too, like.
Okay, so y'all can coordinate whoever's got the trucks, okay?
Yeah.
They'll coordinate, they'll help you,
well, okay, yeah, because I don't think I can get 20.
okay? It's like 400 pounds, that's two 200-pound people across the back seat, like it's doable.
Yeah.
So one of the things that might be helpful, we won't have it ready for this event, but after the kitchen remodel's done,
Have an ice maker?
we're planning on putting a large ice maker back in the utility room.
Hallelujah.
We haven't ordered it or anything yet because we're not at that point. But there are large blue and white coolers that belong to recreation floating around here somewhere that you can fill with ice.
Okay,
So not gonna help you for this event, but for future.
okay, that's good to know though.
That's gonna be great.
When is the kitchen expected to be done?
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
When is the kitchen expected to be done?
Probably it's looking like end of June.
That's soon.
You know, it's converging with grass season. So
Oh, yeah.
things got slowed down a little bit.
And so I talked to Jim already about getting the park set up. I think I dropped the ball on one, letting you know to put some tents up. So if there's any tents that Danny has kind of in there, but I guess I can do that. That's no biggie. I can do that when I set up. So take that back. Are y'all putting out the banners, the big signs, the gateways?
For Juneteenth,
Yeah,
we need to take a look at those and make sure that they're still valid.
okay.
I think there was a QR code on those.
Ooh, you're right. Okay. So that QR.
So, and
code.
those might be able to be modified. I'll ask the maintenance guys to
Just
bring
fill
those
in
up.
one of the
and take a
white
look.
squares.
And can you put extra garbage bags
Yeah.
because, yeah, because they were overflowing and then you have all the stuff on the ground. So if we can get extra bags inside of the can, then we can tie them in bag and then open another one.
Yeah,
So they have cardboard Rumpke cans that they can put liners in. So it's just a matter of letting the maintenance department know to get those out.
Yeah, they normally do all of that.
The other thing I don't have from you yet is your request to reserve the park for that day
I thought I would have given that to you a long time ago.
and the
Okay.
liquor license.
I got the liquor license, so he didn't see
No, our
that?
liquor license, our liquor permit, so you can,
Right, I got it from Rob Butler like a month ago. I'm surprised he did not CC you in that email.
so, yeah, if you can send that to me
Uh-huh.
so I can attach that to the invitation and Outlook. But
Okay,
then I also need you to do that form for the
to
village,
request the park,
correct? Because that also has a liquor permit that
Right.
needs to be signed at the bottom by
okay,
the administration and the police.
okay. But the park is reserved though, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Someone sneaks in.
This is like-
Somebody else has
It's
to
like
put
the
up there,
village has
yeah,
to get
really,
its own
yeah.
approval, like, okay.
Paperwork, crossing T's, dotting
I
I's, yeah.
see now. I was like, it makes sense when I was a resident, but I'm like, okay. But I hear you. I'll take care of it.
Anything else for Juneteenth?
I think that's it. Thank you.
So I'm very excited.
Yeah, I think this might be a good
It's
year.
gonna be a good
When I
one.
ran them numbers, I was like, oh, this
Oh my
might be a good
God.
one, yeah.
Love to see it. Lovely. I'll see you all there. Let's see. So we can move on to new business. I just have Labor Day.
I don't have any updates from Reed on that.
Yeah,
So I have an update.
Yeah?
So we were able to book the Second Wind Band for Sunday, the 7th. So in talking to Reed,
love
that
that.
date works for them. What we're thinking this looks like is that we would have a DJ here from 4 to 6. The band would play from 6 to 8. We reached out today to the 513 Relief Bus to see if they can attend that event. I'm not sure they do that on Sundays. But then we were thinking, Kona Ice is always knocking on our door wanting to do something that's a kosher thing. We were also thinking we might reach out to Tiny Bistro to do the food. This just all happened in the last 72 hours, essentially. The mayor is really excited about trying to do another concert.
Okay.
So that's kind of the groundwork that has taken place at this point. Reed and I would like to sit down with Melody and with Recreation. I think this will be an administration-driven event,
Okay.
but we will need support from Recreation and probably community engagement to communicate and communitize.
We'll share it. So does that mean there's no event on the 1st then? Instead, it's gonna be on the 7th?
Reed's looking at doing this on the 7th rather than on the Labor Day itself.
Okay.
So we look to see what the Bengals and Reds are doing. The Reds are in town, but likely they won't be relevant at that point.
They're almost all right now.
Uh-oh.
And the Bengals are out of town at Cleveland. So that would be another opportunity to put the game up in the hall.
Okay. So Sunday the 7th, instead of Labor Day, it'll basically be a fall concert, is what I'm hearing.
Correct.
Okay. And does that money is coming out of Rex?
Eric and I need to talk about that. I
Okay.
don't see it coming out of rec,
Okay.
for at least for the band.
That's what I'm asking, yeah.
That's
Okay, that
probably-
makes sense. So the money they were gonna just put for the 1st will supplement. Okay.
So then the other thing to think about too is if we want to do beer sales, something's flying around. We just need to talk about what we want to do and how big we want to make it. Because we're also thinking, asking the circus to do their sideshow again,
Okay.
like during that 4 to 6 pregame period,
That'd be fun.
pre-concert period.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Cool. Yeah, and we removed the vote for new treasurer. So I don't have anything else new business wise. Sorry. Ron's excited about that. Our next meeting is on the 14th of July, not the first Monday of the month, but due to the summer schedule, we're gonna do it on the 14th. I'll send out plenty of emails so you all know that. I guess with no further ado, can someone make a motion to adjourn? Any motion to adjourn? We got a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Hi,
Let's go home.
wonderful, that was so great.
Yeah.